What up, everybody? And today we're gonna check out Juan Corona's case. As you can see right here. And yeah, what he did. So I know it looks blurry, but I guess I'm gonna need to read it for you guys. So it says right here. Juan Corona was convicted of 25 counts of first-degree murder in 1973, and about this case, it's crazy because this case, it says everything, Juan Vallejo Corona, February 7th. So yes, it says right here, in May 1953, Corona moved to Marysville area at the suggestion of Natividad, finding worker on a local ranch. He was first married to Gabriela E. Hermosillo on October 24, 1953. And that was his first wife. Then he married to Gloria, and divorced, I think, in 74, if I'm not mistaken. I think it says right here. Yep, it says right here, 1974. I know it looks blurry. I gotta get myself a better camera actually. And it says right here, mental illness. So right here it says he had a schizophrenic episode, and his brother Natividad sent him to DeWitt State Hospital in Auburn, California, which he was diagnosed with schizophrenic, and he was paranoid type. So yes, he was deported 3 months later, and then I think in 1962, he had a green card, so he came back to the United States legally, and he was considered as a hard worker with schizophrenic episode and violent temper. So now I'm going to evidence. Now, right here it says on May 19, 1971, a farmer owner who had used Corona to contract field workers noticed a freshly dug hole. So someone in the orchard, he was working, and discovered there was a hole, which was filled the next day, and they found a man. They found a man who was stabbed and hacked. So they just called the cops. Something like that. I don't know. I don't really know the story. I'm just reading off this, and So in one of the graves, a deputy found 2 meat receipts, bearing Corona's signature. Yeah, and in another grave there were 2 crumpled Bank of America slips or deposits, printed with his name, Corona. And not only that, the victims were last seen, driving away with Corona's pickup truck, and we're gonna go deep into this, where I might even go to the places where Corona's brother used to work. Not only that, where supposedly there was this wino park where Corona actually picked up the what he would call the winos, homelesses. Um, for now, who we call them, just drunkies, um, or junkies, you know. So we might go in person, record this, and talk about how everything went out, um, because I've seen a lot of cases like that, and we're just going to take it to the next level and go in person, and yeah, so stay tuned to that. So on May 26, 1971, you know, they went to Corona's house with a search warrant. So, and arrested him. Which right in his house, um, there was two bloodstained knives, a machete, a pistol, and bloodstained clothing. So automatically, he just looked like guilty at that point for you know I would say the police's point of view. I mean, if there's a murder case, and you just find all these type of weapons, so automatically, that's what I think. I might be wrong. There's people with, could tell the story a little better than me, but I don't know. Anyways, continuing. So yes, these are the victims. Um, they're like there's a list of victims, and they were all stabbed, slashed with a knife or machete. So yes, these are all the list victims. John Joseph Haluka, and you name it, I would say these were the junkies, in their area, which there was a video, where they interviewed, people that knew the victims, and they were like, oh yes, we one of them didn't want to ride because there was a lot of trash cans. Why do you need to bury trash in a hole? Why do you need to dig up holes to bury trash, or bury garbage? So I don't know, I can't confirm this or not. We will let you guys be the judges, but I would say, around those areas, people know each other by they say that he knew a couple of them, so I would assume, everybody, they would know each other. I don't know, I can't confirm it, but we will let you guys be the judge. So yes, these are the victims. I'm not gonna name all of them, but it's quite a few, and it says right here, shot in the head with a 9mm, which is William Emery Camp. So yes, so they did find a gun with him. I don't know if it was a 9mm, probably, but it says right there. They found a machete, bloodstained knives, a machete, and a pistol. I don't know if it was a 9mm, and probably it was a revolver. Who knows? Probably it was a 9mm, who he shot. William Emery Camp. And on the dates, it says right here February 25th through May 11th. So I would assume he would have killed, a couple of them in just a week or two. Um, but yes, these guys are off 58, 62, 64. Older gentlemen. So, so yes, so yes, we're just gonna. There's a picture of him, you know, um, right here. There's more, but these how the victims look.